Okay. A lot of y'all have asked me to be more transparent about my disorder and what I deal with. For the new people around here, my clothes are falling off of me. For the new people around here, um, about 20 years ago when I worked as a wilderness boot camp counselor, I had a boy throw an axe at me. It struck a part of my lower leg where there was a massive nerve bundle that controls a lot of important things. It damaged that nerve bundle and the damage spread. I've got flipping mascara everywhere now. That's great. And as the years and the surgeries combined, because none of the doctors knew what I had, it worsened. Frozen muscles, not being able to walk certain days, tendons, ligaments not functioning correctly, central nervous system not following my lead. And all the doctors just said it was in my head. For 6.5 years, all the doctors told me it was in my head. Someone who had, when they were 14 years old, had bench pressed close to 150 pounds. I was like 135 to 150 pounds, leg press 700, halter broke show cattle, trained horses, showed sheep, helped with my dad that was a blacksmith, shoe horses. And they said, oh, this is all in your head. Until I finally went to a sports medicine guy in Nashville, and he took one look at me and he said, you have reflex sympathetic dystrophy. In some ways, I'm lucky because I don't have it as bad as most people. They call it the unalive disorder because it's so horrible when it hits that nobody normally lasts the first 4 to 6 years. I have lasted over 20 now. Luckily, when I got to the spot where a lot of the nerves began to die, I got a lot of ease and I could function as a human being. I could function. I could do a little bit more for myself, and I didn't feel as bad. And I've had a happy medium for a few years where I've been able to have a few extra days and do some things that make me happy. I've worked with my hands to make my hands work a lot better. And I don't know if it's the weather coming in or because I had scheduled 2 days to go to the newspaper office to help them because they can't read the little kids' elementary writing on how to cook a turkey. And I said, oh, I want to come help with that. I want to come help with that. It's just a half mile from the house. I want to come help with that. It would make me happy to read all the little kids how they want to cook a turkey because they're creative kids, and it would make me happy. And and I thought that would be nice to be back in an office setting and just volunteering and helping. And just 2 days. I just wanted 2 days. I just wanted 2 days. 2 days. Yesterday I knew something was off because when I got home I had physical therapy and I didn't feel right. And when I tried to take my earrings off last night, I couldn't get hold of them. And I kept blaming it on I put on some nails, but I put on these short nails so I never have problems. But I kept telling myself, oh, it was just a long day. It was just your nails. It took me 45 minutes this morning to get my own goddamn britches on. I couldn't get a bra on, so I had to put a tank top on that's got a built-in bra. My hands wouldn't work to buckle my belt. I have a beautiful pair, let me try to hold them. I have a beautiful pair of earrings that my friend made for me that I wanted to wear today. I can't get them in my ears because my hands, my super fine motor skills are not working. And this is all I could do with my hair because, again, hands not working. Smacked myself in the forehead with a brush. I don't know if you can see. That was really great. That hurt a lot. Quick movements that you think are muscle memory are not muscle memory when I have these days. Today is what I call an MS day. I feel like someone who has MS. My legs are not working. They're on like a half second to 2 second delay. I'm if I'm not to where I can grab something to hang on to, I need a walking aid today. Here we go. I'm back on freaking walking aids. I haven't had to have one in so long. But even after I got dressed and I thought, no, I can do this, my body will catch up with me. It'll catch up. It'll wake up and it'll start working. We're just having a slow day because I try to be the eternal optimist. I opened my front door and I stood and stared at 3 steps. 3 steps. It might as well be. I can't even talk because of it. Might as well be the Grand Canyon because I can't get down them. I can't get down them. I don't like to go to bed on good days because I don't know how I'm going to wake up the next day. So when I have a good day, I don't want to go to sleep because I don't know how I'm going to wake up the next day. But I'd gotten to where I was having more good days. And then to throw this one at me is really making me mad. It's really making me mad because honestly, I have fought this entire disorder with just pure belligerence and meanness because normally when something gets me, I'll get it back. I mean, I grew up halter breaking show cattle that were 600 to 1,000 pounds. By golly, if they thought they got me, just wait, I was going to get them. And they all could be led with a paper bag by the time I got done with them. Got mascara everywhere. I tried to put mascara on about put my eyes out. I supervised murders for the state for a decade. And now I can't get down 3 stairs on my goddamn front porch. Even if I had a ramp, I can't get down a ramp because my legs don't function well enough. I can't feel the sensations and they don't, when my muscles don't work right, I can't do it. I can't do it. So the lady that I was gonna help, she's like, it's okay, Elizabeth. She's like, anytime you want to come up here, and she's like, we enjoy having you here. You're fun. She's like, I used to work in the newspaper right out of high school, and she runs the newspaper, and we actually worked together when I was out of high school at the newspaper, and so I know what's going on. I can be useful. I can have fun. It's nice to just one or 2 days a month to feel useful. It's just really nice, and I look so forward to the Thanksgiving turkeys, and then to the when we raise money for the needy families for Christmas. I love this time of year and the stuff that goes in the paper. And I had a great piece in the paper last week about that World War One memorial event, reenactment event. I was doing so well, I should have known something was coming. Should have known something was coming. So yeah, I feel like an MS patient, and I see all the comments, but I can't see well enough to read them today. So I will read them when my eyes decide to work. And I bet y'all wanted me to tell you about more of the bad days. This is a bad day. This is a bad day. Even if I could get down the 3 stairs off the porch, I wouldn't feel safe driving with the way my legs are today. Gosh, I'm going to poke my eye out trying to wipe a mascara. So screw trying to change back into pajamas. That'll take 45 minutes. I'm just going to face plant in the bed and not provoke my body anymore. Thank God that I was able to make a little bit of a dinner last night, and there's enough left to eat because opening boxes and measuring crap would not be it would not go well today. I have a bread recipe video that I want to do, but it's got to be a day where I can function. I can't function today. And my legs are having really, really bad twitches, and they're not working correctly when I'm walking. And I don't know if it's the weather or if it's just time for me to have another crash and burn. I don't know. I'm getting really tired of this merry-go-round. Done it for 20 years. I'm tired of it. And I just wanted a normal day. I just wanted a normal day where I felt like a normal person that could do a normal task and be a normal member of a community and see friends that I've known for 25, 30 years. My ears hurt. My ears even hurt. And I'm trapped in my house today because my stupid legs and body won't work, and I barely got myself dressed. And I don't dare attempt to undress and put my pajamas back on. I'm just going to merely exist today and just let everything else go, because the more I try to do, the more upset I will become, and the worse it will become. So this is one of the days where I sit and cry because this is not the person I am. I am a tough Amazon little hillbilly. I've broken more cattle in this county probably than most anyone else that showed cattle. I've trained horses. I've shot horses. I hunt. Heck, I felt good enough to try to crossbow archery bear hunt just what, 2 months ago? Month ago? I lose track of time. My brain is not working today either. But it truly does feel like MS, but none of the tests show MS. And the days when I have like a good week or even a good 9 days, these days when they get me, they really crumble me emotionally because this is not who I am. I'm the tough freaking heifer that supervised murderers, and you don't give me no crap, and I don't take no crap, and I will dish it out and get on with my day. And to find myself sitting here crying because I can't make it down 3 steps is really a huge emotional spin. And so it will take me 2 days to decompress and process that and get back to where I can, okay, that was that flare, that was that issue. Look, now I can work on being me again. But it's like I lose myself every few weeks. I lose myself. And I don't go out in the world when I'm like this because, number one, it's difficult. I'm afraid I'll fall. I'm afraid I'll make a fool of myself. And so when people see me, they're like, oh, there's really nothing wrong with her. She seems fine when I see her. Okay. Come visit me on these days. I usually drink protein shakes. I cannot make my blender attachments go together today to make a protein shake. And so today's food intake will be whatever lid I can open in the fridge. But anyway, this is what I deal with on the bad days. This is what I don't always show you. It's very, for me, embarrassing because my whole life I was this super tough, hard as nails person. And that's who I want to be. That's where I function the best. And I keep thinking that maybe there's something I'm supposed to be learning in all of this. But all I've learned is the distrust I have in the medical system and in my body. So things I really look forward to doing get taken away from me quite a bit. And I feel trapped on these days. I feel like a rat in a cage. And yes, I love my home, but when you're stuck in it 24/7, and these are the days when I feel safer, when I'm on the farm, when I have someone else's eyes on me, have mom or dad with me to watch me, so I can still try to do stuff. I don't have to feel like a vegetable. I can still try, and there's somebody there in case I get hurt to call 911. So today I'm just honestly going to be in bed. I guess maybe I can get caught up on YouTube. I guess that's about all I can do. And I've got so much stuff to do that I enjoy doing that I can't do, and it's so frustrating because I like to be busy, and it's hard to be busy when your body doesn't work. I think I'm determined to try to make another protein shake, but I don't want to upset myself any more than I am. So, um, I'll let Dave know I'm having a bad day, but he's in another state working, so there's diddly crap he can do. He has to work. I'll let my nurse know, my at home nurse know I'm not having a good day, and she's basically on watch in case I message again, in case something happens to where I need her. But I tell you what, you want to feel extremely alone? Have a life where you have a career where you were climbing. Go to college for 6 years and build a career where you were climbing, to where you were going to be making dang good money and you were going to have a comfortable life. You had every award that they handed out. And then watch one disorder take it all away from you. All the work, all the hours, all the work weeks that I barely saw my family because I thought if I could just get to this next level, I would make enough money and I would have a set time that I wouldn't be supervising murderers and convicts. I would be working in revamping the prison system and I would have a normal 9 to 5. And I never got there because my body crapped out. And when I got sick, they said, "Oh, if it's cancer, we'll stand behind you. You've been a great officer. We don't want to lose you." And as soon as they found out it was a neuromuscular disorder, much like MS, they took me in a back room and said, "Do you want a disorder or do you want a paycheck?" Wouldn't it have been nice if I could have had that choice? I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I want people to learn from this. I want people to learn from this. I want people to learn that when you see somebody struggling, shut your mouth. You don't know what they're going through. When you see somebody that's disabled having a decent day, be happy for them instead of being mad that you think nothing's wrong with them. And I am one of the longest running people with this disorder. I'm having a hard time talking today. I'm sorry. And I've signed everything to say, hey, yeah, use my case notes, use all my tests, use it. Use it to learn. Use it in teaching hospitals. Use it however you need to so that someone else can get some help from what you've learned from me. But there's no funding, there's no research because this is so erratic and it doesn't respond to anything like MS does. Like MS responds to those infusions, and people with MS do really well. This doesn't respond to things because it's your sympathetic, parasympathetic, and your central nervous system, and they all work against each other. And then your muscles get in on it too. It doesn't function like MS, although it mimics MS a lot. It spreads to my organs. That's why I have a lot of issues. That's why I've had to give up most of my organs. I had a hysterectomy at 30. Fixing to lose my thyroid, probably. It's disassembled me piece by piece. And it makes me so mad. But it took them almost 7 years to diagnose me. There's no research. No one wants to fund this. No one wants to know anything about it because they can't make us consumers of a program of medicine so that we can be slaves to the pharmaceutical industry. They can't figure out a way to make us worth the money that they would put into the research. And that's how man's heart and brains work these days. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Every specialist I've seen has been like, we don't know how you made it this long. We don't know how you basically force your body to work most of the time. It wins, less than you do. You win more than your body does, so you're doing really good. And all that's great to hear. It looks good on paper, but when you live it every day and you have these days, I get mad. Because that's how I get through things. I get mad at it, and then it becomes my arch nemesis and I must win. And today I got up and I stumbled. Like with my first 3 steps, I stumbled, which is not uncommon. And then I cut the corner of the bed too close and I caught my shin. And I thought, okay, slow down, Elizabeth, wake up. And then I tried to brush my teeth, and that was a whole horrific brush your teeth, not your face or your nose or poke your eyes out because you have no muscle control. And then I thought, oh crap, here comes another one of these days. And I thought, no, maybe we're just waking up slow. We're going to get dressed and we're going to see where we go. Well, I couldn't get socks on at all. So I put on these slip-on generic Hey Dude looking things. You don't really have to have socks with them, even though it's flipping cold here today. I like to kill myself getting into britches. But I thought, I can do this. I can do this. It literally took me 10 minutes to get my belt done. And I have to have a belt because I've lost so much weight, my pants will just fall. And then it came the bra. Women, y'all know the problem there. I could harness up a 6-horse team before I could put on one of them darn things on a good day. So here we go on a bad day. I gave up and just put on this tank top that has one built in it. I thought, I'm getting smart with this. I can do this. Caught myself in the hallway, coming up the hallway. My legs kind of didn't work right. And I shuffled, thought, ooh, better be careful, don't fall. Thank goodness I have a small home and there's normally something to grab really quick. Go out in the kitchen, thought, I'll make me a protein shake and I'll slowly sit down and drink it and I'll wake up. Couldn't get the freaking Ninja blender together. Give up. Because if you don't get a Ninja blender together just right, they won't turn on. The darn thing won't turn on because I can't get the little screw top down to lock to where it will engage the motor. So crap on trying to have a protein shake today, which is normally my breakfast and dinner. I really only eat like one meal a day. And then I had stood long enough that my hip flexors were starting to give. And so turning and walking was starting to become a problem. And I always make fun of it and say I walk like my grandpa did after he had his chemo and radiation when he had cancer. And everybody thinks it's a joke when I say it because it sounds funny. But he walked that way because he was so weak. You know, and he was the little strong man. He was just tough as a pine knot. He went everywhere with a force within him. He was walking with intent. And then after he had chemo and radiation, it was a struggle to just make his feet move. And I keep thinking I'm walking like my grandpa after cancer. And so after the blender and then when the hip flexors started bothering me, I finally made it here. Took me about 5 to 10 minutes to get this stupid phone case off the phone. I'm not even lying. Fine motor skills are crap today. And the lady's very sweet because she just enjoys having me up there. She just enjoys that I care enough about the community that I want to come up and be involved from time to time. And when my hands work, I type really well. I couldn't type today if I wanted to. But I enjoy being back in an office setting, and I get it is maybe once or twice a month if I'm lucky. So I'm stuck here today. Have no idea what I'm going to eat. Have no idea what jars I'm going to open. Our jars have become a nemesis. Stupid lids on water bottles. Why do you make them so hard to get off, companies? And the protein shakes that are pre-made for like senior citizens, you have to go to war to get them suckers open. And I'm sitting there thinking that there's a 90-year-old somewhere just wanting to drink a protein shake and they can't get it open because I'm 46 and I can't get the darn thing open half the time. I was feeling fine, so if I don't feel good, I can go to David and I can say, hey, before you leave, will you open me a few bottles of water and a few things so I'm not struggling all day? And he's kind enough to do that. But I felt fine, other than not being able to get my earrings out last night. But that's like not the end of the world. Women, we all know earrings are a pain in the butt sometimes. So I'm going to have a day of absolute no productivity. Nothing positive is going to happen for me today. I'm probably going to go downhill as this weather changes because it's getting cold here. Thursday we're supposed to have high winds. The plateau is going to turn vicious for winter, and so my body's going to have the hurt moment. It's like it forgets how to function because the barometric pressure changes. And that's what it is, barometric pressure. It's barometric pressure, and I've told the doctors this for years, and they're like, oh, sure. Hey, listen, dude, I watched the barometric pressure ridges. I have maps, and I have radars, and I have stuff that I have found, and when those little ridges get close together, I fall to pieces, and when they get far apart, I do really good. But, of course, the doctors are so much smarter than me. even though they don't deal with any of this. I told one doctor I don't know how you could go to school for over a decade and be a ply blank idiot. He did not take that well, but I made my point. So these are the days I don't normally show you. And I've had several people say, hey, listen, if you're going to monetize, show us everything. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what's going on. So today is going to be a day where I struggle just to get myself to the bathroom. It's going to be a day where I struggle to get enough calories or intake in me to function. It's going to be a day where I probably end up with a migraine because of the weather. It's going to be a day where every step I take, I better have something to grab or one of my walking aids because I can't trust my legs. And if this happened every day, as bad as that sounds, I would probably get used to it. But because it doesn't happen every day and it comes in waves like MS, I have really good days. And so that makes the really bad days suck even more because you don't get used to them. You hate them. And you're terrified when they show up. And you're mad. And you don't understand what short-circuited. Can somebody just solder something back together and fix me? And it makes me mad. And so I never make peace with it because it's constantly a yo-yo. And then part of me is like, don't make peace with it because then you'll give up. Everyone that I knew when I was diagnosed is now dead. Except for one lady that's bedbound. I'm the last one walking that's able to walk on good days. I'm the last one that can walk. I'm the last one that can function as highly as I function. And it's because I don't listen to the doctors and I don't take the medicine and I think more about natural stuff, natural remedies. And honestly, castor oil packs, apple cider vinegar and stuff like that, for me, it's done better for me. Now, you would have to talk to your doctor, but for me, it's done great. And my doctors trust me to say, no, I'm not going to take that medicine. We're going to try this. And they've been great. And my health has done much better than the people that I met in that clinic when I was diagnosed. There were 3 of us. One's bedbound and about to go on, the other's dead. I feel like the last dinosaur. And I would completely offer for testing and to study me so that somebody else could not deal with this. But no one rich enough cares to fund. No organizations care to fund because they know enough to know that this is a very individualistic issue because of the central nervous system and because it doesn't fully act like MS. And the central nervous system is still widely not known about very well at all, not to where it needs to be known. We don't understand how it affects the brain when it happens. Everyone is different, so we can't make a blanket care course that everyone will want to buy and take, and we can make millions and millions and millions of dollars off of. So just let those poor people suffer because we can't get rich off of them. And that's basically it. That's basically it. I know all about the iodine. I do the iodine. I've got I've got my magnesium levels great. I do a lot of roots that grow around here that are really good for teas and tinctures, and I make a lot of my own tinctures. I've seen Amish doctors They were very helpful. Amish doctors were very helpful. And this is just my story. They were very helpful. That's not for everybody, I know, but it worked really well for me. I know more about the plants, the flora and fauna, and how it affects my body. Irish sea moss has been like a really great thing for me. It gets a lot of my vitamins and minerals in me that I can't otherwise get in me. I've got a great company that makes a lymphatic drainage tincture that works really well when I swell now. I found that doing really good with that. But I'm sorry if after 2020, y'all, you have any trust in the pharmaceutical companies. Are you blind? Um, Mother Nature is much more of a consistent aid for me. And no, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm a retired parole officer. I'm not about to do that. But I have had more success with just certain teas, tinctures, poultices, pastes, castor oil, just stuff like that. I've had much more success with that than I have with the pharmaceutical industry. And I don't want to take medications that I don't know what the long term prognosis are because I have grandkids I want to watch grow up. So I deal with the pain, I deal with the discomfort, I do what I can with my body, with Mother Nature that seems to be doing okay. And somehow I'm still here when everybody else is dropping like flies, which doesn't make me feel very good because just like I'm the freaking last unicorn. But these are the things that I don't talk about a lot because they're not fun to talk about. My closest friends know how I feel. They know what I go through. And I just kind of hide it from the rest of the world because when I have a good day, I try to share a good day with you. And when I have a bad day, I just take a day off. And there are some days when I'm not doing so well that I can still sit and do a video and hide my shaking hands or do a craft that's not going to show, that my legs are just bouncing crazy under the table. Now that I've been on this thyroid medicine for long enough, I know that all of this is not thyroid related because my thyroid and the other issues have been doing great, but I'm still having what I call MS like issues, but I don't have MS. I've had all the tests. I do not have MS. So I know what I have. I just wish some rich, benevolent person would fund some research so we could figure out how to have a better existence. It would be nice. It would be nice. So that's where I'm at today. I'm gonna go lay down. I'm look at me. My eyes are swelling. I'm extremely tired. I have fought my body to just get dressed and try to think I could leave. I fought my body. I'm tired. I feel like I've run a marathon. All my muscles are working against me. And of course, here comes the dog. He wants something. He normally does make me feel better, but he knows when I don't feel good, so he's like shadowing me big time today. You stop staring at me. He just stares at me like I know something's wrong with you today. But I'm gonna have to rest. I just wanted to share this with you as why I don't ever talk to you about this, but I know a lot of you want to know about it. I know I've had a couple of you say, "Oh yeah, I have that," or "I have a family member that has that." I wish you talk more about it. Well, here's the sucky day. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. And today, my body wins. And hopefully, tomorrow, I can win. And you just take it a day at a time. I'm so tired now. And that's another thing. I build up strength for weeks, weeks, weeks. And then I have these big issues and these big crashes. And then I have to start building my strength up again. Look how bad my eye's swelling. Do you see that? Do you see how bad my eye's swelling? Random parts of my body just swell and turn piebald and different colors, red, purple, and it's not circulation issues. It is the disorder where it's acting out. I guess today it's going to be my eyes, and normally when it's my eyes and arms and hands. But I know it's my legs today too because the walking's been difficult. Maybe it's just going to be a whole body day. I don't know. If I turn any funny colors, I'll take pictures and show you. But this is what I'm dealing with today. I'm going to go to bed when I can make my eyes focus to read. I think I saw somebody giving me a thank you for a hug. I need a hug. I need 5,000 hugs. I can't do ice baths. Ice will send me straight into flare and almost stop my heart. RSD does not respond to ice very well at all. I can use warm compresses, but ice will basically send my whole body into shock and just about kill me. It's such a weird, it's just a weird thing. The flashlight's kind of, I've got an overhead light on with a ceiling fan. This light is too hard to turn on with my hands when they don't work, so I had to pull the ceiling fan. Thank you. I appreciate the hugs. Yeah, it's terrifying. Life. When you wake up every day and you don't know what you're facing, it sucks. I've gotten really good at going, by God, I'll just John Wayne and Clint Eastwood it down. And I've got really good at putting on faces and going and getting through life. And I can mask pain and discomfort. I can even mask the way I walk sometimes if I'm wearing a certain dress or something. I can kind of mask my instability. I've gotten really good at it over the years, really good at it. But when I swell like this and I'm walking like somebody that's had 2 knee replacements, yeah, something's wrong. And I'm just going to forget trying to wear any jewelry. I'll put them on the next day my hands function. Today is the day that I wear this thing that notifies. God, can I get it on? Oh God, can I get it on? Today is the day I wear this thing that notifies people if I get down. And I have to have it. So we'll put this freaking thing on and feel like we're 95 years old and we've fallen and we can't get up. But at least I can call for help if I get down. So, yay for me, I look like I'm on house arrest now. Sorry, parole officer humor. So I'm going to sleep today. If you don't hear from me for a couple of days, it's because I'm fighting whatever is coming at me right now. And as soon as I perk up, I will turn back into... Oh, God, my leg. Hang on. My leg. Ow. As soon as I perk up, I will turn back into Happy Liz and we will do things. On the days I feel good, I like to do things because I have days I can't do crap. So on the days I feel good, I like to do things. But for me, most importantly, I wanted to see all the kids' recipes. I wanted to help type them. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to enjoy the naivety and the innocence of children. It's one of my favorite times of year. I always loved it in the newspaper, and she was kind enough to be like, yeah, you can come up and help. Sure. Then my body goes, oh, no, you can't. Not today. Today's not a good day. Sit down, shut up. So I'm going to sit down and shut up. And I'm going to lay down and rest. And I'm in quite a bit of discomfort from the joints. And I'm just going to probably use quite a bit of castor oil and lay real still and see if I can draw some of whatever's causing this out and try it again tomorrow. I do feel like I'm developing a migraine. I'm developing a migraine. Talking is hard today. And so I will probably, I fully expect to be down with that here very soon. So, okay, I have explained enough. I think you understand. And that's where my head still hurts, where I hit myself that I have a wooden boar's head hairbrush, and I was trying to brush my hair, and I smacked myself right there in the forehead, and it hurts so bad. Because, muscle memory, your body goes to do things at 90 miles an hour, and then you crack yourself in the forehead with your very sturdy brush. That was lovely. Maybe I should switch to something else. I don't know. I think anything going at your head that fast is probably dangerous. But it hurts. So that's going to be something I deal with all day too. But I'm going to bed. And if y'all don't see me for a couple of days, I'm in bed. And I'm swollen and I don't feel good. I'm tired. I've done nothing but fight my body and I'm exhausted. So off to bed I go. There's your picture of a bad day. I'm not showing you until I'm walking because it's flippin' embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I know back a couple years ago I had a really bad attack that affected my jaw and my face and I couldn't talk. And honestly, that attack made me think, okay, maybe I've got to the point where this is finally going to take me out. And I did a video over that because I thought, well, if this is what gets me, it'll help a lot of people. And that was one of the worst attacks I've ever had. Had to go to the ER. The doctor was not trained. I had to educate him. He was unsure of how to proceed. I said, you have to shut my body down and basically let my brain reset. And I said, I don't enjoy this any more than you do. I said, but I don't want to get worse. He said, I don't know how to treat you. You just need to go home. I got him fired. Because he was like, oh, if you have certain medications at home, just take more. And I said, no, that doesn't work. And I said, the medications I have at home, I said, are not medications that, they're not those medications. I don't take those medications. I said, they are like blood pressure, So I said, they're not those kinds of medications. And he was like, well, I just don't know how to treat you. You just need to go home. And they escorted me out of the ER. And I called and I said, do you know that your doctor, number one, violated criminal statute and told me to misuse medication? I said that he thought I said, apparently he thought blood pressure medicine was going to do something amazing. I don't know what he was thinking about. I said, he put me on an IV. I said, he said, we're going to put you on an IV, but after 4 attempts, he couldn't locate an IV because I was so swollen and in flare, but he didn't understand my medical condition. And by law, you're supposed to then transport me to the next facility so they can try. I said, and he just said, you need to go home. And I said, I used to prosecute warrants all the time. I know the judicial system. I know the law. I know Tennessee annotated code back and forward, and I have seen a lot of medical malpractice and fraud issues. And I'm pretty sure y'all need to deal with that doctor. And he lost his job. And that was a very good thing because he was not there to help anybody. So I'm amazed at the huge gaps of knowledge in the medical field that are willful. They don't care because they can't make us a customer of monthly medication because they can't find a working protocol that benefits this. It just visits and goes away and visits and goes away and visits and goes away. And even though it acts like MS, it doesn't respond to the same medications. It lights up different areas in the brain. And they just don't care enough to figure it out. So if you're out there and you're dealing with this, you're not alone. It sucks. We'll get through it. It hurts. It is probably, well, it is. It's like the worst diagnosis as far as pain and long-term issues and short lifespans. I apparently got on the slow roller coaster because it's taken me forever to get to the end of the ride. But other people I know didn't even last 6 months. Some people checked out, which I'm just not made that way. Just not made that way. But it is difficult being the last one of everyone that you met when we were all diagnosed and learning and hopeful, and it really does suck being the last one because you watched everyone else give up or be overtaken. This is a horrible disorder. They used to call it reflex sympathetic dystrophy. Now they call it chronic regional pain syndrome. That doesn't describe what happens to me. Reflex sympathetic dystrophy, which basically says my reflexes and the function of my body has a spaz attack. That makes more sense. It's not the chronic regional pain syndrome. My nerves have died. My muscles have atrophied in certain areas. I don't have a lot of the discomfort I had 10 years ago, but I still have the issues with my reflexes, with my sympathetic nervous system, with my central nervous system. And I have days where nothing works correctly. And so I don't know. They said they changed it for billing and coding purposes, but they made it sound like something it is not, and that irritates me. They made it sound like you're people that are like seeking drugs, and I was sitting here going, really? Because I had to go make my husband buy Tylenol the other day because I didn't have Tylenol in my house. Okay, I had a fever, which that may have been what caused all this. I had a fever a couple of days ago where I had that sweet tea that made me sick. Well, crap. That could be what brought this on. Maybe I just needed to talk through it, figure it out. But I had to ask David to go get Tylenol to get my fever down because I don't take a lot of Tylenol. It makes me itch if I take a lot of Tylenol. But when I had such a high fever, I said, yeah, short-term use, I'll use it. That may have been what brought this on. Honest to God, that could have been it. Anything that taxes my body breaks it down. So maybe we figured it out. Bet you that was it. A sweet tea. A rancid sweet tea that somebody sold is what probably caused all this because my intestines have been swollen. They swell and they act like diverticulitis. Even though I don't have diverticulitis, they act like it. That's probably what happened. Well, now we may have figured it out. I think I may text my nurse again and say, hey, we may have made a connection. I cannot see. Oh, I cannot see. I drink a lot of lemon water. I do a lot of citrus. do a lot of apple cider vinegar. My body is one that if it stays a little highly acidic, it functions better rather than one that stays. Um, I'm losing my words. But yeah, I do better staying acidic. And that's just the way my body functions. We figured that out a long time ago. And a lot of people don't understand that because they're like, oh, you need an alkaline body. No, my body needs to be acidic to function. And that's just has to do with this disorder. So I've learned a lot in 20 years. I'm open to listen to anyone else's ideas, but we're going to have a hard time finding something I've not tried because for 20 years I've been on a huge major search. It's not about the salt because I've tried all the salts, and to be quite honest, I've even this is gonna sound horrible. I've even tried the equine salt that's got like everything in it that's way better and more clean than the salt they give to human beings. I do the pink Himalayan. I do the Dead Sea salt. I do the one. I've got like probably 7 different types of salt in my cabinet that are supposed to be a miracle cure, and they do nothing for me. Absolutely nothing for me. Nothing. So it's not like I'm lacking something in that regard, but it is my central nervous system got damaged when that boy attacked me with the axe. The central nervous system did not heal. Basically, it became a diseased central nervous system, which then feeds to my brain, which then controls my muscles and my reflexes. And so that's what this is. So it's not something you can put a band-aid on or lick some salt. Um, it affects my central nervous system. It affects my muscles and ligaments because it affects my brain and the hemispheres that control the movements. But because the doctors can't find the magical, combination of medications that they can get paid buku money for, they don't want to spend time on it because it's so individualistic because it the brain and everyone's brains are different, respond differently, so we don't want to waste our time because we won't make any money. And to them, I'd like to say, go suck a biggin, because my life would have been much better had we not been a money-based society, but if we had been just a caring society, my life would have been much better. I do fast. Yeah. There's not a day I'm not praying. I'm talking to God all the time because I ain't got nobody else to talk to because I'm all alone all the time. But I do fast. Fasting helps a little bit, especially during the bad times. And that's why normally those isogenic shakes that are quite expensive, they do really well when I need to stop eating and I just need to get some nutrients in my body, but I don't need to make my body like work really hard to compost what I'm eating. And that's why I just really wanted to make my shake this morning, but it's not gonna happen. Not until my hands will make the ninja blender go together. So, but we'll get through today. We'll get through tomorrow if it's tomorrow too, and we'll just face it. Because what else can you do? You just face it and go on. But anyway, this is the crap I deal with. Feel free to put all your ideas, or if you've talked to a medical professional and they've given you a tip or something, put it down there. I'll talk to my medical professional. I do have one that's really good that listens to me, and is like cracking books to learn as much as he can about this. So he's pretty good. Specialist insurances won't co-align to let me go far enough away to go to these specialists. But I've had friends that have gone and paid out of pocket, and it's been like nothing occurred. It was nothing. It was just like they slapped a snake oil salesman board up and told you they were going to heal you, and nothing occurred. So, but I have to say, I've made it farther than most. I'm dealing with just over 20 years of this. I've outlived everyone else. The new young batch coming up look at me and go, "How did you handle this?" And I'm like, "Listen, it's not going to be the same for everybody. You're just going to have to talk to your doctor. You're going to have to fill out your body, because what I have recognized is that because it does go through the central nervous system and affect the brain, because our brains are so different and they're formed and structured so differently, because we all grow in different, we're good at different things. So different parts of the brains function differently in different humans. It's going to affect everyone differently. And you're going to have to find your little magic momentum. And I've done pretty good, but today I failed miserably and it made me mad. And I'm going to have to rest and let my body chill. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to shut up and go rest because I'm getting really tired, really weak. But yeah, take a moment and look up reflex sympathetic dystrophy, chronic regional pain syndrome, which I hate that name, but that's what they call it now for coding. Look up the McGill Pain Scale. Look at people's stories with this stupid disorder, and you will see why I don't show you my really bad days, because they're horrific. They are Linda Blair strapped to the bed horrific. And I just don't share that. It's just not something I want other people to see. I don't want to scare the younger people that are dealing with this. Not with my particular behavior. But look it up and educate yourself and realize that there are people in the world dealing with this crap. While doctors can get funding for the stupidest of things, for lip injections and butt lifts and crap for Kim Kardashian so she can be immortal, but people that have real issues they can't find money for. Probably along the same lines of why North Carolina people are having to dig out their own dead people. It's just not beneficial for the government. It's just not beneficial for the bigwigs. I mean, that's my opinion. I believe it's a pretty good opinion. Because if you cared about humanity, it would show in everything you do. And it shows in literally less than 5% of what our government and our physicians do. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to have a grumpy day. I'm going to try not to, I'm not going to be conducive to the internet today as far as, comments and responses. Number one, I probably couldn't type them anyway, and that makes me mad. Number two, I get really sour toned when I'm having a bad day, so it's just not I just try not to do this because it's not the tone I want to put on the internet. And number three, it's just more important for me to get rest. So that's what I'm going to go do. But here, I'm sharing, as so many of you have asked. I will say that since I met Sabrina Wallace and we combined our knowledge of nature, it's like the old time apothecary nature, just what the earth grows and the earth makes. I have done much better. I have done much to the point where my doctors are like, "What the crap are you doing?" Because I refuse almost every medicine they give me because of the side effects are 10 times worse than what I'm dealing with. Why would I take that? Side effect is a mule may kick you in the head. No, that's okay. I don't think I want to take that medicine. And then they ask me why. Because I'm not an idiot. But I have done much better. I have done much better. And I've learned to use my muscles in a different way. And I've learned to kind of stay in tune with my body. And I knew gosh, I knew when that sweet tea got me and I got sick. I thought, man, that was weird. But that may be why I'm going into this, because my bowels have been swollen ever since the sweet tea. They're starting to go down and recede, but the flare that occurs can happen anytime within a week or so after an issue, and so I may just now be going into flare, which is normally on a bad flare 5 to 10 days, on a flare 3 to 7. Um, I have had them where they're getting short enough to like 3 to 5 as I've lost weight and gotten healthier. So maybe this will be a short-lived event. I don't know, but I would like to be able to dress myself, to buckle my belt. I don't even want to think about having to go to the bathroom all day today. It's just the stupid, simple things that really make you feel less than human, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. So if you're out there and you're having an issue like this, you have a disorder somewhat like this, or you experience these things, you're not alone. You're not alone. I'll talk about it. It's not embarrassing anymore, it's just frustrating. And I think the only way to benefit other people is to talk about it and let them see. And this eye is going to be a booger all day. Do you see this? This eye is going to be an absolute booger all day, because it is starting to really drop. And well, both of them are. This one's really starting to drop right here, though. Watch me poke my eye out. Right here, it's really starting to swell. Well, we'll just see what I end up looking like at the end of the day. If it's really ecstatic, and different, I'll take a picture and show you. But I think I'm going to go to sleep, and I can put a cold washcloth on my forehead, but I can't use cold therapy in any other way. Still too warm here to break out the heat pads, and I'm not cold, so that's not going to help. I'm tired, so I'm just going to use castor oil compresses and magnesium spray and see if I can battle some of these cramps. I've got some Amish cramp. It's ginger. What is it? It's ginger, garlic, and apple cider vinegar in a certain percentage to where it will help your muscles relax and it stops really bad cramps. That's been a lifesaver. That's been great. I'm telling you what, these Amish people, I live around a lot of them. They got a lot of wisdom. So don't discredit people that understand the land. They're smart. Okay, I can't read. I'm sorry, my eyes are so bad. I can't read any of this. Do I see here sage? Honey, me and sage. I about got me a shirt the other day that said, "Go smudge yourself." I'm part Cherokee, so the amount of things that I have tried, it covers a large expanse of a lot of my heritage. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel better, as in the house is clean. But as far as my body, it doesn't do anything for my body. And I've even done the sage in the diet. Doesn't really help. Not the sage you burn, but the edible sage. Doesn't really help. I've done black seed powder. That sounded like I was talking about a drug, but I've taken black seed powder. The Irish moss really works. I use a lot of bentonite clay packs on joints and stuff, and if I get hot spots, stuff like that from the swelling and the flares. I've got Dead Sea salt. I use a lot of salt body scrubs. I use a lot of eucalyptus. I just use a lot of natural oils. My left leg is seizing up right now. Yep, that's not gonna be good. So I'm well versed, but feel free to keep putting them down. And after I end this, if you want to put it in the comments, I'll tell you if I've tried it, if it works, and if I've not tried it, I'll talk to my doctor about it and do my research and see if it's something I want to try. Um, I'm pretty open to everything that's natural because Mother Nature's done far more for me than the pharmaceutical bullcrap. That's what it is. It's my opinion. So, I'm so tired. I dressed myself and brushed my teeth and I'm exhausted. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut up and go to bed. Thank y'all for listening. It's just where I've got an overhead light on, and when I move, and this stupid little thing. Yeah, iodine is so important to the body, and the Irish sea moss I have found is just a really potent, awesome thing. But talk to your doctor. I mean, always talk to a medical professional. I won't say always take them at their word, but I mean, talk to them and discuss it and see if it's going to have any contraindications with anything. Um, but I have learned that Mother Nature is great. Goldenrod tincture, I put up my own goldenrod tincture for years. It helps with inflammation. Marshmallow root helps with my inflammation. You can boil corn silks in water. That's great for bladder and kidney issues. Now, this is just all what I've learned, okay? So you still need to talk to a doctor. I mullein and make mullein every winter for cough and respiratory issues. I use oregano, oil of oregano, the edible oil of oregano for respiratory clarity and stuff like that. I've learned a whole lot about what I can do naturally for my body. There's a lot of stuff in these hills and hollers that are great. Um, I dug ginseng the majority of my 20s and half of my 30s, and well, probably a little before that too. Um, and so you grow up very aware of how important these things are because people spend big money for them, and you learn to use them yourself. Of course, my great grandma looked like she was straight off the reservation, and she used a lot of homemade remedies, and I learned a lot from her. Even though she scared the crap out of me because she was a very harsh woman, I learned a lot from her. I grow my own herb gardens. I have lyre sage here. I have apple mint. There's even wild lettuce here, but wild lettuce is something I just won't really deal with. I have a lot of goldenrod here. I have violets. I put up for violet jelly. I have dandelions, and you can fry dandelions or you can make dandelion jelly. You can make a lot of teas. I have a lot of echinacea and flowers that you can turn into a lot of, they're edible. You can make teas and stuff with. And so I do pretty good on my little plot of land to grow quite a bit of stuff. I did this last year order boneset and comfrey just because the world is not a stable place anymore, and those are two really great things to have in your arsenal, boneset and comfrey. And so I've got that ordered. I've got them in, and I'm going to be starting them. And it's just you just have to pay attention to your body, nature, what works for you. Yes, seek medical information and attention, but I'm here to tell you if it doesn't work, sometimes you just got to feel out your body and then tell your doctor how you did. And I've done phenomenal compared to everyone else I was diagnosed with. And a lot of it is because I refuse to take the crap that they try to peddle, because it is, in my opinion, more of a poison than an aid. And I'm sure this will probably be demonetized for me talking about all this. But as much knowledge as my doctor thinks he has, he lacks that much more in the herbal basis of the medications he's trying to peddle. So I listen to me, myself, and I, and all the elders and a lot of the information that I research and glean from books and peer reviewed journals and studies. That's what I do. Oh, I cannot read. Too toxic for me. What's too toxic for you? Burdock is a regular. Milk thistle is a regular. Milk thistle is something I tell everybody about. It's a great liver cleanse. Um, Milk thistle is something I think everybody in this area takes. I do take like a beef organ supplement plan. So yeah, I'm pretty well versed in all that. And actually, I think that that's a really good, especially for women. I think that's a really good protocol to look at is beef organ supplements, and they make it to where it doesn't taste like beef organ supplements anymore. I mean, I'll sit down and eat a plate of chicken livers. I don't mind. I'll eat cow's tongue, liver. I'm just one. Grew up a hunter. I'll eat. I won't waste the animal. I'll eat it. But they now have beef organ supplements that basically are in capsules that taste like peppermint, and you still get the benefit, which is absolutely hilarious. But it works, and it's done wonders for a lot of women. A lot of reproductive issues in women have been resolved with beef organ supplements. Do your research, talk to your doctor, but it's a really good thing. Oh, I'm so blind right now because my eyes are. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I started having thyroid issues. Until we found the 5 gazillion nodules, and I knew that I'd always had a good amount of iodine in my of healthy iodine in my diet, and basically what the endocrinologist and I think is it's just this disorder spreading and taking another organ. Eventually, at a one that I can't give up. But here we go. This is just what we deal with. Because it works phenomenally sometimes, and then it crashes and burns, and so it follows the routine of the rest of this crap that I deal with. And so she's like, it could be affecting your thyroid, which is affecting everything else, which is why I got so sick for in the spring and summer. But I'm doing better now. But I have not felt well since I drank that sweet tea that apparently and got sick. Apparently something was wrong with that sweet tea. Sweet tea is I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to drink a sweet tea again, and I live in sweet tea land, so but it was that harsh, and I just don't think I'm gonna be doing sweet tea. I just don't at all. I definitely think that from a religious perspective that you fight different things, but I will sit here and honestly tell you that he is nowhere near me. He is not allowed in my home. I'm a child of the king. I'm washed in the blood, and he cannot harm me. So it's nice to throw that out there and say you may need to be a better person. Um, but no, I'm good there. Better than 99.9% of the population, I dare say. Um, but it's always easy to go to a theologian perspective. Um, and sometimes that is the problem. But for me, for 20 years, and having dealt with the evil I've dealt with and come out unscathed, because I've dealt with murderers and the most violent of offenders, that's not what's been bothering me, because I did find for a long time it was the axe incident the damage to the central nervous system and how it feeds into the damaged diseased central nervous system, feeds into the brain, and then feeds back out of the brain, and it mimics MS. I mean, that's basically the basis of it. And I think that my faith has probably been what has gotten me through a lot of it. But no, I got no monkey on my back, and I got no demon in my house, because they are not welcome, and I will shoo them off. I mean, if you can understand 1% of the capacity of the strength the Lord gives you, you would understand that that is not even an option. But the sad thing is most people think that, you know, we're in a battle. No, if you're a child of God, you're not battling, because you have the power to dismiss that. We just forget that. A lot of people just forget that. So I ain't got no problems there. He can hit the high road and leave. He ain't gonna bug me, because he ain't allowed here, because I'm covered. But I will say that the migraines have been worse since the axe incident, and I feel one coming on, and it's just when all this flares and it makes everything upset, the whole body kind of shuts down like an MS patient. I mimic an MS patient, but they will not put me in for observation because I don't have an MS diagnosis, even though I have the same symptoms. But they will put an MS patient in for diagnosis because they have an MS diagnosis. Make it make sense. They just don't care. They don't want to know. They don't want to fundraise, and they don't want to put money in a disorder that's not going to feed them back billions of dollars. So all their names should be Richard, because that's what I want to call him. And I try to deal with this with humor, but right now I need a nap and castor oil, and I'm going to try that freaking blender one more time if I can get to the kitchen. So y'all have a good day. I just wanted to share this. I'm so irritated that my life gets interrupted. I'm sure there are people that deal with much worse. But as far as disorders go, if you look this one up and you look at the McGill pain scale and this disorder, and you look at people that have the severe issues, which I do have sometimes, not consistently like others, but sometimes, you would be amazed what I deal with, what I hide, what I put behind my smile, and what I never show y'all. But it might be a good Google finger moment for y'all. My eyes are swelling so bad. Okay, I'm gonna go and make my protein shake and put some castor oil on some very specific places because I'm having some eye problems and swelling today. So y'all have a good day. I'm gonna sleep. Pray for 3 people before you pray for yourself. And try to find something to smile about and something to overcome. And for me, it's going to be that freaking Ninja blender. So that's where I'm going right now because I've got to get something in me that will help combat this and give me some strength. So y'all have a good day. I'm going to go try the blender again. And let's all just pray that I can make it go together and my hands work. And I'll give you an update on community post. And as soon as I feel good, I'll let you know. My legs are really beginning to hurt. So I'm out of here and I know when to give up. I'm going to go to bed now. So I will see you when I feel better. Don't worry, Oscar's here to take care of me. That lot of good he does, but he is comfort. He's just staring at me.